Students, our next example is magnesium chloride. Our next example is magnesium chloride. Okay, that is MgCl2. Okay, this is our next example. Okay. So students, the magnesium atom contains 12 electrons. Okay, the magnesium atom contains 12 electrons, that is 2, 8 and 2 electrons. Whereas we know that the chlorine atom contains 17 electrons, that is 2, 8 and 7. The magnesium atom has 2 electrons in its outermost orbit. As it has 2 electron, students, it should give out the 2 electrons, right? It should give 2 electrons to attain stability, that is 2 and 8, to attain nearest inert gas configuration. Whereas the chlorine atom can receive only 1 electron because it needs only 1 electron to attain stability, that is 8 in the outermost cell. So here 2 atoms of chlorine participates for the reaction. That is, here it accepts 1 electron and here it accepts 1 electron. Okay, students, we know that Mg atom contains 2, 8 and 2 electrons. So this atom will lose 2 electrons, students. Minus indicates losing electrons. Okay, this atom will lose electrons to become Mg2 plus, as it donates 2 electrons. So here we symbolize as 2 plus, and here it becomes 10 electrons in the outermost orbit, whereas here it had 12 electrons, right? Now it becomes 10 electrons. Okay, and the chlorine atom, the 2 chlorine atom will receive 1 and 1 electron. So students, the structure of magnesium is containing 2 electrons in the outermost orbit and 8 electrons in the middle and 2 electrons in the first cell. So it contains 12 protons and 12 neutrons in the nucleus, and this is the magnesium atom containing 12 electrons, that is 2, 8 and 2. So this magnesium atom containing 12 electrons donates 2 electrons and becomes Mg2 plus. Okay, it gives 2 electrons to 2 atoms of chlorine. Okay, the 1 atom of chlorine receives 1 electron, whereas another atom of chlorine receives another electron. Okay, now coming to the structure. Okay, so 12 protons and 12 neutrons. Okay, so this electron is received by 1 atom of chlorine, which contains 7 electrons in the outermost cell, isn't it? Seventeen protons and 17 neutrons. Okay, another electron is received by another chlorine atom. Okay, seven protons and 17 neutrons. Okay, so 1 electron is received by 1 chlorine atom and another electron is received by another chlorine atom. Okay. So students, we know that after donating electrons, it forms cation, and the cation is smaller in size than the parent atom. Isn't it? The cation is smaller in size than the parent atom. Now the final structure will look like magnesium atom containing 8 electrons in the outermost orbit and 2 electrons in the first cell, isn't it? And it contains 12 protons and 12 neutrons. Students, remember that when electrons donated, okay, when an atom donates electron, the number of protons and the number of neutrons never going to change. Okay, it remains as it is. Okay, here as it donated 2 electrons, it became 2 plus. Okay, now this first electron is donated to one chlorine atom, and we know that the cation is smaller than the anion, right? To draw a big structure over here, right? Okay, and the chlorine atom contains 17 protons and 17 neutrons, but here 18 electron, students. Okay, as it received one electron. The structure is somewhat smaller than the anion. Okay,